Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to show you how to reduce the file size of a base64 image. But before I get there, just wanted to share something that happened to me. I realized how much I rely on IntelliSense and auto-completion, emmet, and stuff like that, because when I was doing this project, my emmet was not working, and I spent 5 minutes waiting for it to kick in on my Visual Studio Code when I could have literally just typed the whole thing. For those of you who don't know what emmet is, it's basically just this. So it does your auto-completion when you type in certain characters or certain stuff on your VS Code. So here I can do that, and bam, I have all of this text just from an exclamation mark. And what else can I do? Say for instance UL and then LI times 12, and I have all of that. Or dot test, I have a div of test, and finally off the top of my head, what else can I come up with? I guess for now that's it, so that way I don't take up too much of your time. So yeah, straight to the code of resizing a base64 image file size. So I have this very complicated HTML here, which includes my input tag with onChange preview, calls the preview function in my main.js. And then I have an image tag here, which shows the new image and then the old image after the whole processing is done, and just a little bit of CSS up there. So just to show you what this does, I'm just going to refresh this and then choose a file and then call in an image. So here you have an image that was 814 kilobytes and then 110 kilobytes after the whole processing. So basically, you'd use this in a scenario where you're on a budget and you don't want to fill up your server because you're storing too many images. So, because that's literally the situation I was in. So that's just one of the things you can use this for. So going down to the HTML, down to the JS rather. So this is the function that gets called. I know I could have passed the element as a as a parameter down here, but I just chose to grab the ID and then get the files from there. So from here, I turn the image into base64 from the input, and then check there if the response has a value, and then give the image tag source for the old image, and then I calculate the size of the image using this function down here. I'm just using this so that I can see if it's actually working, because you don't necessarily need this whole calculate function, but I do make use of it in a case where I'll show you later. So from there, I resize the image using this function down here. By the way, I have all this code on my GitHub repo. I'll share the link in the description. And then I calculate the size of the new image down here. So I use this function to preview the image, and in the case where I don't really need to preview the image, I just use this function up here. So I'm just gonna comment this, and then uncomment this, and then see how this function. Well, basically this function just calls this process image, where I'll calculate if the old size is greater, if it's greater than the minimum image size that I give up here. Because I found out that when I call the image that's less than 300 megabytes, it actually makes it bigger. For instance, I have this image here, of which I shouldn't have done that. Let me just uncomment that result. Process image. Why am I printing this? Right here. There we go. So go back to the browser, clear that error. By the way, that error was just because I'm not on the internet and that's giving me issues. So yeah, I call this image, and the image is already small enough, because let's go back to the previous function that I was using, preview image. So comment this out and then uncomment that and then clear that. So if I call an image of which is already small enough, for instance, it was 17 kilobytes and now it's 99, which defeats the purpose. So yeah, when the image is already small enough, I use that other function so that I don't have to resize it if it's already small enough. So scrolling back up here, so yeah, I just I do it on 300 kilobytes. So if it's already less than 300 kilobytes, shouldn't have to resize the image. Or if it's greater than, then it can do the whole resizing and then print the results. So here's the actual function. Oh, before I go to that, I turn the image into base64 using this function. So I'm using the file reader to do that, and from here I'm using the canvas, because we'll create a new image and then create the source of the image using the base64 string that we passed in, and then from there get the 2D values of that of the canvas and then get the results. By the way, I'm using promises and async await because it does take quite a bit of time to do this whole things, and this whole onload functions are asynchronous functions, of which if you don't use your promises or your async awaits, you might end up getting the results at the time that you didn't need to, if I can put it like that. In a case where the user keeps clicking and clicking and clicking, you might end up loading the wrong results. It's a whole lesson on async await and promises, so I'm not gonna really get deep into that. That's the simplest way I can just put it. So just know, use async await, because some of those functions like the file reader and the onload for the images, they're asynchronous functions. So yeah, full disclosure, I did not write most of this code. I just wrote some of it because I realized that when I faced this problem, I was having issues where I couldn't resize the base64 string. So I went up on GitHub and copied some of this stuff. And yeah, I'm just placing it here so that if anyone else runs into the same problem, they can easily find the solution, because I don't remember finding it on YouTube. So yeah, so basically that's it. And yeah, link is in the description for the code. Feel free to copy it, feel free to share it, so that other people can also find solutions. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.